All right, here you have, I believe these are front-wheel drive, correct me if I'm wrong, but a 67 Oldsmobile Toronado with a 425 cubic inch V8 automatic. Look at that dual exhaust coming out the back. The chrome looks great. That nice saffron yellow is in perfect condition, probably a repaint with that nice vinyl and headliner roof. And yeah, it's just really clean. And what did it sell for? $19,800. All right, now we're looking at this nice 88 Chevy Silverado pickup. And you know what I like about it is, first of all, it says 3+3. I don't see a dually on there, and I think that's what a dually would be. But it's got the crew cab on it, so maybe they put the crew cab on something else. Maybe it's pretty custom. The one thing I like is that they put the matte kind of finish over the original looking paint instead of doing a high gloss, which they tend to do a lot of times. Now you're going to like this engine. It's got an LS V8 under it. $19,800. All right, here's another one. Probably the same seller, maybe, but very similar, other than it doesn't have that nice newer V8 under the hood. It's got the original 454 cubic inch V8 automatic transmission, and it's got the original paint on it, it says, but they did a little more of a semi-gloss to high gloss finish on it. And I don't know if you see what I'm talking about, but I prefer when they do a matte finish on it. That 454 is, a massive engine, TH400 automatic transmission, air conditioning, 6 new wheels and tires, which will save you probably $2,000, maybe more. And it also has a drop kit. So this thing's definitely been lowered. You can see it. It's pretty significant. But I like it. I like it. Patina looks nice. It looks really good to me. And some people like it, some people don't. What are your thoughts? Do you prefer patina or do you want it looking shiny? $19,800. This one's dear to my heart. 44 Deluxe. You can tell it's the Deluxe by the grill. It splits off a little bit more than their standard. There's an AC compressor there, so this thing's got air conditioning. I think it has a lot of stuff. Aluminum radiator. It's got those aluminum wheels that look pretty good on it. That greenish teal color I think looks great. And it's a perfect match, that green teal with that color of leather that they put in there. I think that looks really nice too, by the way. And headliner is good. I mean, this is a nice car. Somebody did a really good job on it. I really liked mine, the one that I owned. It's, you have so much room in those things. And the back seat it's almost like riding in a limousine. Look at this. Look at the profile of it. $18,700. 87 Ford F-150. I love the square bodies. They're beautiful to me. This has the 5-liter V8, which I think is a little underpowered. I had one, and I would rather have the 4.9-liter straight six. But this thing's all original. You can just tell the wheels are original. I like the tires that they're white lettered, raised tires, or white letters. And don't know how many miles are really on this thing, but it's in original condition. Looks really nice. It's got the regular cab and short bed, which is really popular. It's got the bed rails on it, power steering, power brakes, AC, cruise control, which you don't see a lot of times on these trucks. Of course, those dual tanks that they all had. $18,700. You have to like this El Camino. How could you not? 1970 El Camino with a 350 AC. It's got a high performance camshaft, Edelbrock intake, 4-speed automatic transmission with overdrive, of course. That is your overdrive, that 4th gear. And that air conditioning is original, by the way. And it has power steering, front tubular A-arms, 308 gears with posi traction, which would be good for highway or street use. Vinyl cover on the bed looks good, keeps it cleaner, and the paint looks awesome. 5-spoke wheels look good too, $18,700. Here's one that's a little bit abnormal to a lot of us, an Alfa Romeo GT V6. It's got a little 3-liter V6 under the hood, 5-speed manual transmission. And this thing's got some performance parts under it too. I don't think, oh, it does. It comes with air conditioning. So that's pretty nice. You can't even see what's there under this little hood. Where's the AC compressor? I don't know. But clean little car. Looks like fun. $18,700. All right, we like the big boats. And the Thunderbird from 1976 is certainly a big boat. Odometer reads 10,690 miles. Probably not true. Highly original condition. I think those spoked caps are original. Power steering, power brakes, factory air, automatic transmission. It's got a 460 under the hood. I don't know if I said that or not, but the vinyl top looks really good. The interior is good. It's got that sunroof, and it's super clean. To me, it looks like it's the original paint too, and it may have just been garage, but that vinyl top I think looks awesome on it. $18,700. Is that a good deal to you? All right, if you like air-cooled Volkswagens, man, those are cool wheels on that thing. This is one of them. It's got that 1600 hanging off of the back of that. Look at the size of those big old tires, but I think those wheels look great on it, and it's just such a smooth looking body too. 4-speed manual transmission, super simple, great beach car, $18,700. Here's another boat for you. 78 Lincoln Continental Mark V, so you know it's fully loaded. Odometer reads 27,000 miles. It's got that big 460 under the hood, pop-up headlights, original wheels, exterior color is green, interior color is green, so this thing's green on green. Do you like that? I think it's cool. Cruise control, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, power windows, got the Cartier clock. It's got a padded Landau top. Those are the little upper windows on the sides, AM/FM cassette radio. And it's got the white striped tires that I think look good on there. It's a big car. Be fun to cruise in. $18,700. Okay, that says Chevy Coupe. It's a Chevy Master 5 window coupe. And that little engine there, which looks really heavy, is a 206 cubic inch 6-cylinder with a 3-speed manual transmission. I like it with the skirts, the wheel skirts on it. I think it looks really good. I don't know if you've seen that or not yet, but it's just got a really nice look to it. There we go. We can see the skirts on it now. What are those called? Wheel skirts, fender skirts? I think they're called fender skirts. But blue on black looks great. $18,700. All right, this is when the bodies changed a little bit. 1941, pre-World War II, of course, and then they stuck with this body style until about 1948 before they went to the shoeboxes. It was pretty much the same. And what I love about the 41 is the front, which you're going to see in a minute. The front looks really cool. Big white wall tires, 239 cubic inch V8, and a 3-speed manual. $18,700. All right, we're going new now. 2013 Mercedes-Benz CLS 550. So that tells you right there that it's a really nice car because it's a CLS class. Twin turbocharged 4.6 liter with 402 horsepower, and that's a V8, by the way. All-wheel drive, automatic transmission. Of course, it's all leather and it's fully loaded to the gill. And it's right at that mileage that you got to be careful on buying these 88,000 miles for $18,700. All right, Porsche is one of my favorite car companies on the planet, if not the favorite. This is a 986. I'm sorry, it's a 996 911. This is the first years, I think 97 was, but of the water-cooled engine, and they were no longer hand building them. They were building them with machines, you know, not hand built, slow, but fast and not as good. 76,000 miles, and it's $17,600. I think I want one of these. I really think that XLRs are a beautiful car. It's got that square wedgy look to it, almost like the old stealth fighters that we saw. What model was that, everybody? Anybody remember? 4.6 liter, 320 horsepower V8 with an automatic transmission. They were pretty luxurious looking on the inside. I mean, look at that thing. It's quite beautiful. And that top was retractable. So it looks awesome with the top down, and it looks awesome with the top on it. Looks like you'd have to hunch down a little bit to see stoplights and things. I don't know. $17,600. Is that a good deal? 39 Ford Standard Coupe. Look at the front end on that. I mean, that looks like a 38 to me, so it must have been an early 39 if it is a 39, but that grille doesn't emulate, 1940, which late 1939 looked like a 40 as well. Two-door coupe, 221 cubic inch V8 under the hood with a 3-speed manual, and that's a floor shifter. Look at that steering wheel, very cool. It's got like a wire look to it. I think the white walls look great, and with the kind of the wheels, they have the caps and the beauty rings, and this thing's $17,600. Here's a big boy right there, and it's got that, is that considered an 8-liter, I think, which is 500 cubic inches. Automatic transmission. Of course, this thing would have been fully loaded too, because Cadillac was always fully loaded. Power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, tilt steering column. You gotta love that. Power windows, power door locks, power seats. It's got the vinyl top. Shows 49,000 miles, so I'm sure it's many more than that, but it looks to be in really good shape when you look at that interior. The body is awesome on it. You know, it's got a mean look to it, but at the same time, it's also really pretty. I think I decided that blue tape is telling people, hey, this is where the fuel goes, so be careful. I don't know. $17,600. All right, if you don't know that a Cyclone is a pickup, which it said right there on the label, then there's something wrong, because all Cyclones are pickups, and they were little rockets on the streets as well, with a 4.3 liter, 280 horsepower V6, which was actually underrated. And you can see this one's got some pillar gauges on it, but they want to know how much boost is coming off of that little turbo. And these things had 350 foot-pounds of torque from the factory, which was a lot more than a Mustang had. Those had 300 foot-pounds with 225 horsepower. So it's nice. It's nice. Is it worth $17,600? Maybe. All right, here's another Mercedes with the top down, the SL550. And I think all SL550s are convertibles, but looks like it could use a polishing. The paint's a little bit faded out, but not too bad. You know, 5.5 liter V8 automatic transmission. It has navigation built in, and which was a pretty cool thing to have in 2008, I guess. That odometer does read 58,000 miles. It probably is true, because it might be broken down otherwise. So, you know, it's probably got another 15,000 before you got to do some major service to it. So we're at Houston, so there's going to be a lot of pickups at these auctions, and they're going to fetch higher dollar than if you were getting a truck, you know, in say Virginia or something like that. But look at the paint on it. It's just a very classic looking blue on silver, which looks beautiful, and that silver interior just matches it perfectly. 97,000 miles. Don't know that's original, because it was, you know, not odometer that had 6 numbers on it, but it's got the 5-liter V8, and it's an F250 model with the long bed. And I like long beds. I actually prefer the long bed. I like the look of it, and I like that I can put a full sheet of drywall in there and put the tailgate up. That's just really nice. 4-wheel drive, by the way. Air conditioning, so, you know, it has everything you need for $17,050. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but these prices are after all of the fees. Well, not every fee, but the buyer's premium that they add on top of it, which is 10%. So we're going to do some more videos as well that only show the hammer price. So stick around for those, and you'll get to see those. We do a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 video for those. So 74,000 miles on this 2013 F-150. That's really good. It's got the short bed, single cab. It would be a nice little truck for just about anybody, I would say. It's a 5-liter V8. It's got the 2-inch receiver on the back, so if you want to pull a car, you probably could, and you do just fine. I don't think those wheels are original. They're nice, shiny chrome ones, and I think they added all the chrome to it. But $17,050, how is that for a deal? All right, here's an '07 CLK 350, so a little bit different than the other two that we saw. It has 41,900 miles on it. That's a 3.5-liter V6, by the way, with an automatic transmission. Original wheels. And it's got a soft top convertible. So I'm not interested in soft tops personally. I want to try a hard top out and see how those do. The leather looks to be in really good condition, and paint and body look pretty good on it. This thing has navigation, heated seats, dual zone climate control, dual power seats with 3 memory settings, and it was $16,500. All right, we've got a Silverado LT pickup here. So that's not the lowest end of them. And there's that 5.3-liter Vortec V8, which I have in my Chevy Avalanche. And it's a great engine. It's got enough power, white letter tires with black wheels. I think that looks really good. Did I say automatic transmission? Sandstone metallic exterior paint. And it looks like it's been refinished, actually. New tires. There's that fuel tank. It's got the blue tape on it. I'm sure that's what it is now. And I don't know if that's a spray-in bed liner. It looks like it is. But it's in good shape, and I want to see what it sells for. And let me know if you think this was worth it. And yet another Ford Thunderbird. This is an anniversary edition because they started in '55. This is the 20th anniversary edition. The odometer reads 25,000 miles, and by the way, that was that big 460 V8 under the hood. Of course, it's going to have an automatic transmission. It's got those original wheel covers on it as well with white letters, and that looks really nice. I love the color of it. It's called bronze. Bronze exterior and bronze interior. The interior, not as desirable looking as that exterior, but you know what? I would take it. It looks really comfortable. Good road car. By the way, it's been converted to fuel injection, so you're going to have a little bit more reliability with that, easier starts, and maybe better gas mileage. Is it worth $16,500? I think Texans like their Camaros almost as much as they like their trucks because we have a few on here. This is an '02 SS with a 5.7-liter V8, 325 horsepower, which was really good in 2002. That was a lot of power. 47,000 miles on the odometer. I don't know if those are original chrome wheels or not. Let me know what you think. 6-speed manual, all for $16,500. I've always been intrigued by the Willys Jeepsters. Do you call it Willis or do you call it Willys? I have one and I call it Willys. I've been corrected, but I'm an owner, so I can call it whatever I want. And by the way, I've done some research and it's actually both. Both are fine. I believe the guy that started its last name was Willis, but Willys is okay as well. 134 cubic inch inline 4 with a 3-speed. I guess that's a 3 on the tree. Yellow and black. Rear mounted spare tire, $16,500. Is that a good deal? I like this truck a lot. You know, I've said it before, I don't know why they kept doing step sides on vehicles after the fat fendered vehicles. It doesn't make sense to me. I would rather have more bed space. But if you can think of a practical reason that they made the step sides, other than you can step on the side to get things in and out, I guess, please let me know what it is. This thing has a 305 cubic inch V6. One thing I do like about it, and you don't see this a lot on trucks of this vintage, is it has 4-wheel drive. And there's that 305. 16.5, is that a good deal? Here's an '04 Mercedes-Benz SL500. And this is also a hard top that is retractable. So you can give me that all day because I think it would be quiet whenever you have the top on. 65,000 miles. And I'm thinking people are going to say, well, at 70 or 80,000, you're going to have to do some major work to it. Maybe that's true. 5 liter with 302 horsepower, automatic transmission, leather, of course. You know, these things are fully loaded. They have everything that you need. I don't see any blue tape on this one. I can see where the gas would go. Why didn't they put it there? I'm not sure. Really, really dark blue or black, I can't tell. 16.5. How many of you like 1980 for Camaros? I think that they're, you know, starting to get more popular. I'm seeing a lot more of them on the road now than I was, and they're restored. This one is no exception. It's got a really nice looking paint job on it. It's only got a 229 cubic inch V6 though, so it must be the base model, but look at that interior on it. Looks really good. Automatic transmission, and that color on the exterior is called Aztec Bronze as well. $16,500. Let me know if that's a good deal. Okay, 68 Dodge Coronet. Now this has a really small V8 that they would have put in the older Barracudas and things. That's a 273 cubic inch V8, and they had already been making the 318, so maybe that was a base engine. I'm not sure, but I know all you Mopar guys could tell me. Krager 5-spoke wheels. It's got an original looking interior to me, and it shows 2,500 miles, which we know is, don't know, but we can assume is not true. The lines on these things are really cool. They just look aggressive and mean, and you can see some off coloration on the fenders, and so there's been some resprays here and there, but you know, I would expect that on a $16,500 car. Here's your another Camaro SS with some big old aftermarket wheels, and this is a Hot Wheels edition. So did it come with those wheels? Was that from the factory? Was it from a dealer installed kind of thing? It has 173,000 miles on it. 6.2 liter with 400 horsepower. That's a lot of power. Automatic transmission. That color is called Kinetic Blue with black interior. And it's autographed by the Camaro chief engineer, Al Oppenheiser, and Camaro creative designer Adam Berry. $16,500. All right, we have another Jeep. I don't think we've had a Wrangler that we've shown yet, have we? No. 3.8 liter V6 with a 6-speed manual transmission. It's got an aftermarket bumper with, it looked like it had a light bar across it, some Vision wheels, and some aftermarket bigger tires. How many miles does that say? 30,243 miles. I wonder if that's true. I'm going to assume that it is. Air conditioning, of course. Soft top and a removable hard top, so it has, you know, all that extra stuff for if you want to go overlanding. It looks like 2-inch receiver, bigger back bumper, big tires on it, and I think it's pretty cool. Is it worth $16,500? Let me know. Here is an 06 Hummer H3, which is really a GM. It's got a Vortec 3.5 liter inline 5-cylinder, but you know, all of these Hummers that they were making were just, they were pulling parts out of the bins and putting them together to make these things. So it's a Chevy essentially, so it's probably got Chevy reliability, I'm guessing. Anybody know? Automatic transmission, of course, is 4-wheel drive, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning. Nice looking interior. You know, I'm sure it's comfortable to ride in. Maybe it's a little stiff, I don't know, but I'm not a huge fan of these. If there's anybody out there that likes these, please let us know. And this thing was sold for $15,400. All right, we saw one air-cooled Volkswagen already, and it was probably on a VW Beetle platform, but here is a VW Beetle. This is a Super Beetle, and if I remember correctly, one is better for making a Baja Bug than the other, and I think it's not the Super Beetle that you want for making a Baja Beetle. 1584cc flat 4-cylinder engine with a 4-speed manual. Looks like it's been repainted, probably been repainted a few times. All right, the question from me to you is it worth the $15,400 price tag? All right, we don't have any Range Rovers on this video, but we do have a 2015 Infiniti XQ80. And Infiniti is owned by Nissan. It's probably like their flagship, vehicles. This one has 125,482 miles, which if it was a Toyota, I would have no issue with it. With a Nissan or an Infiniti, I'm not 100% sure. I've owned a Nissan and it was a good car. It was an Altima, super reliable. But look at that. It's got the third row seat in there, that nice dark leather interior. I think looks really good. It's a 5.6 V8 engine with an automatic transmission. It's not four-wheel drive, it's all-wheel drive. That means nothing nowadays. Heated and cooled front seats. It's $15,400. This is a very radical looking Ghostbusters vehicle, and I think the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 was actually a 59 Cadillac Hearst. This one isn't. It's just an Oldsmobile custom, and that might be a Hearst as well. I'm not sure, but those are funny looking wheel covers. Are they paper? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's got a V8 automatic transmission. It's got all LED lighting. And this thing does have four-wheel drive. So what platform is that sitting on? And that thing's kind of funny because they're trying to make it look like they have a, ecto storage containment unit for, the ghosts that they catch. So, and there's Slime on the back. I think that was his name. A ladder on the side. What do you think about this thing? It was $15,400. All right, if we get a bunch more of these Benzes, we're probably going to start trimming them. So you won't see as many of them at some point, or over time I'll trim some of them out. You can do that after you've submitted a video. The only kind of editing you can do in YouTube is to trim. It's actually just cut stuff out. You can't change anything otherwise. This has 48,470 miles on it. It is a 3.5 liter V6 engine with automatic transmission. I do like the white on white. I mean, it's kind of a light tan on the interior, but it looks pretty good. And I don't know if this is a soft top or a hard top. I believe this is a soft top, which makes it out of the question for me. Is it worth $15,400? All right, we've got ourselves another Trans Am, Pontiac Firebird. Shows 33,000 miles on it. Don't know if that's true, but it's got the 5.7 liter V8. What do you think about that hood that has the kind of the little air inlets in it? I don't know if they're real or not, or if they're actually functional, but automatic transmission, red on gray, clean looking interior. There's no cracks on the dashboard. Of course, it has air conditioning and cruise control and ABS brakes and factory T-tops. Now, I do like the factory T-tops. That's one thing that I do like about this vehicle. I think that the back end on these always looked a little funny. It seems to hang out a little bit far for what it should be. But for $15,400, I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Fox body Mustangs. I grew up with them. That's my high school era right there. There's that 5.0 that looks so familiar. You can see an AC compressor there, so it has air conditioning. This one, it says it has 205 horsepower, and I think in 93 they had more like 230 horsepower. They were advertised at 225. This is one of only 1,503 that had the canary yellow color on it, and one of only 667 with the automatic transmission that was canary yellow. So wow, that makes it really rare, am I right? I mean, wow, how collectible is it? I'm being facetious. Black upholstery. It's got that rear spoiler, I don't know, 15.4. I don't know what an SX hot rod is. Maybe somebody can inform me. But I do like those wheels on it. This is the era that they took the fenders off of them. Usually they put skinnier tires on the front, but that one's got pretty big tires. So hopefully it has, a much needed power steering pump on there and all that good stuff. $15,400. What are your thoughts? Okay, guys, it's not a Mercedes-Benz. This is a Lexus, and look at the size of those rims. Those must be 18-inch, I'm guessing. And it's probably got a true 75,000 miles. A lot of these cars like this just don't have a lot of miles on them for some reason. That is a retractable hardtop. So I'm not familiar with this car at all, really, the SC430. It's a 4.3 liter V8, automatic transmission, power retractable hardtop. And it's a Toyota, so it's going to be more reliable than all those other ones. Question is, Do you think this thing's worth $15,400? This thing would be perfect for me because we go to auctions and we buy cars, but maybe it wouldn't be perfect because we don't haul them home, we drive them home. If you watch some of our videos, you'll see us driving in a 1949 Ford from Las Vegas to San Diego for 300 miles. This truck, by the way, has a 350 cubic inch V8, which would be fine for one vehicle on the back. 4-speed manual transmission. That's a midnight blue color, by the way, with tan interior. It's got the double hump cylinder heads, which I believe that gave it higher compression. So, you know, almost like hemispherical, I think. And there you go. What is that pump there? Is that an AC compressor? Yeah, it is. And if I saw this thing driving down the road, I would probably mistake it for about a 52 Chevy because I don't see a lot of difference between them. I don't have the trained eye for it. But, you know, it's pretty nice looking. It's got the 5-spoke. I don't know if those are American racing wheels, but they kept it pretty original looking at least, minus the wheels. And this thing has a 303 cubic inch V8, and that's an Oldsmobile Rocket V8. Automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, and it was $15,400. And now we have a 97 Firebird Formula. And like I said, the front end, the way it overhangs, and the back end, the way it overhangs, I think they could have shortened it up a little bit and it would have looked a little bit better. Do you see what I'm talking about? Are those wheels, those chrome wheels, factory or not? I'm not sure. But it does have, well, shows it has 30,000 miles on it, so it's probably 130,000. 5.7 liter, 285 horsepower, which was pretty good at that time. The automatic transmission, and of course it's fully loaded. It has power steering, power brakes, cruise control, and all the above. 15.4. I think this Overland wagon probably intrigues me more than most of the other vehicles in this video. I love the paint on it. You know, the way they did that two-tone inside of the indents. It just looks really clean. The wheel combination and tires look awesome. There's a Grant GT steering wheel. And do you know why I like those so much? Because my name's Grant. So I'm a huge fan, naturally. It's got an LS V8 under the hood, by the way, with a 4L60E automatic transmission. $15,400. That sounds like a bargain. All right. We have two Blackwoods here. This is the more expensive one, and I think the other one was right at 10,000, somewhere around there. 70,994 miles with a 5.4 liter V8, automatic transmission, and these things were considered really luxurious, but they didn't last too long for whatever reason. Can you tell me why? It's probably because they said, well, why are we calling it a Lincoln when it's a Ford, and why don't we just come up with a Ford King Ranch and some of those others, you know, the Laredos, and or is that a Lariat? I can't remember now, but yeah. Split tailgate, which makes it really handy when you're sliding things in and out, but you know, you're not going to put a sheet of drywall in that thing. No way. Is it worth $14,850? Probably. All right. This is a nice looking car. See what I'm talking about? I would have mistook that Oldsmobile for a Chevrolet Style Line Deluxe, and that's got a aluminum radiator with the 216 cubic inch. I believe that's an original engine. So overhead valve still though, which is good. It's got side pipes on it. It's kind of nice. I've got a cat. 3-speed manual transmission, 12 volts, aluminum radiator, bumper guards, fender skirts, painted steel wheels with white walls. There's that blue tape on it. I think it's a really clean car. It's definitely been resprayed. It looks really good. $14,850. Yeah, another Firebird Formula, in fact, of a 1977 variety with a 5.7 liter V8. Now the Chevy engine and the Pontiac engine weren't the same engine, even though they were both 5.7 liters or 350s. But one way I can tell a car, you know, if it's pre-75 or not is the back window. If it's a smaller back window on the back, then it's 74, 73, 72, 71, or 70, even though there's a lot of other telltales too. But that's one way to tell it. So you see that back window, you know it's going to be 75 or newer. This thing was $14,300. This thing's really cool. It's a Dodge Merchants Express pickup, and it looks like it makes music on the back. So it might be really cool for parades because there's some snare drums on it, some little pipes, like pipe organ looking stuff. You're going to see it in a second. Original inline 6-cylinder engine, I'm thinking. Manual transmission. That is called a North Tonawanda Musical Instrument Works automated band organ that you're going to see in just a second. It looks like it uses scroll music, and I don't know if there's a PTO on that drives it or what makes it go, but it's kind of neat. Like I said, cool parade car, $14,300. When you first get a glance of this car, you think, wow, that thing looks really mean. I mean, look at the front end on it. That looks pretty awesome, in fact. Until you start to really look at it, then you think, man, I would not want to try to touch a speed bump with that because you're going to rip that whole front end off of it. And then they wanted it down so low that they, in my opinion, didn't put big enough tires on it or wheels. So they're in a little bit too much for what that car should look like. But I think they accomplished their objective of getting it down as low to the ground as possible. Has 67,000 miles. It has a 2.3 liter inline 4-cylinder, but it is turbocharged EcoBoost with a 6-speed manual. Maybe it's not slow. By the way, the interior trim that had the faux carbon fiber in it was faux carbon fiber. There's only one group of people that these were probably marketed toward, and that would have been the baby boomers. So, it's probably not a good car to invest in if you're looking for an investment car, I'm guessing. It has 55,000 miles, and it's a 3.9 liter V8 automatic transmission. And they've got that funny cover over the back to cover up the back seat because I'm pretty sure these are 4-seaters. Do you like these things or not? For $14,300, is it a good deal? All right, there's a 1954 Dodge Power Wagon, and we love Power Wagons. They're awesome. Just look at that thing, and looks pretty original to me. I don't know if in 1954 they had a overhead valve engine or if it was a flathead, so that may not be original. I don't know. And if you look inside that wheel, there might be some wrasse nesting in there. They're kind of commemorating or paying some homage to MASH 4077, which is something that I grew up on. My dad was in the Vietnam War, so he watched that show all the time, even though MASH was about the Korean War. But I think it was kind of in protest of the Vietnam War. I'm not really sure. That's what I've heard, at least. And there they are, Hawkeye and, all those guys. $14,300. Something you don't see a lot of. 1970 Cutlass Supremes. And, they're on the same chassis as the Chevelles were, I'm pretty sure. But this is what I like about it, is that rear fender right there, that quarter panel. I like how they flared it out a little bit. It just gave it a really nice look. This thing looks really good. It's got that beige looking exterior color and beige and brown interior. It's got 442 decals on it. I made the mistake of calling it a 442 in another video, and I'm sorry. $13,200. 79 Cadillac Eldorado with a 350 cubic inch V8. You can see that it's got all the pumps underneath for all of the creature comforts and an automatic transmission. Nice shiny red paint on it and that half vinyl top. I think those look great. And look at that. Look at all the buttons on that interior. 45,000 miles, probably 145, maybe 245, who knows. And I see a sagging headliner, so that needs to get redone. So you're going to put a little bit of money into it, and that's okay. Chrome looks good. The top looks good. I think that it looks like a pretty decent car. Is it worth $13,200? Let me know. This is another vehicle that I think was geared or marketed to the baby boomers. But look at that engine under there. That's pretty custom. That is an LS engine right there, my friends. And it's probably got a pretty good amount of power in there. Aftermarket wheels, everything about this is custom. But as I was saying, I think these were marketed toward, you know, the baby boomers. So is it something that would be good to invest in? I'm not sure. I don't know if the value of these is going to go up or down. We do analytics videos too, by the way, so be sure to check some of those out. We do comparisons of not just HHRs to other HHRs. We would compare this HHR passing the block multiple times because we have enough data that we can find a car when it crosses multiple times. $13,200. Is that a good deal? This thing's cool. Of course, that's just my opinion. It's a 1970 Jeep Commando. And yes, that is a V6 under the hood. Jeep did make some V6s with a 3-speed automatic transmission. It's got a functional 4-wheel drive, manual locking hubs, as you can see there. The nice aftermarket wheels. I think the paint's awesome on it. That green color, it looks pretty cool. They say it's a leveling kit. You know, it's funny when people say leveling kits on 4-wheel drives nowadays. It's really just a lift kit. And I'm seeing a cord of some sort that would suggest that it has a CB radio. Soft top that is actually working, it looks like. Look at that back bumper on there. Very custom. $13,200. I think that's a good deal. This is a super cute little car. And if you look at it closely and you look under that hood, which you're about to, you're going to see that that's a Ford engine. That's a 302 with the distributor on the front. Tells me that's a Ford all the way. Automatic transmission. I don't know what it was. It looks like it was built on a Mustang chassis is what it says. So I don't know how you'd get a body like that on a Mustang chassis. You had to do a lot of work on that, my friends, to be able to make that work. And I don't know if that's a Grant GT steering wheel, but if it is, I really like it. No blue tape on that gas cover either. $13,200. I think that's a good deal. You know, when you first start to pan out on this thing, you think, oh, here comes another American car, but that's not. It's a MG YA Saloon from 1950. But the paint on it's beautiful, and this engine that you're about to see, that's 1250 cc's and 9.4, and it's got a 4-speed manual transmission. And as you can see, it's a left-hand drive. So that was probably a little bit harder to find on some of these MGs in that era. They would have mostly been right-hand drives. There is a sunroof in there. Do I see some wood components inside as well? I love it when there's wood inside of a car. And the paint combination, I think, looks really good with the wheels. It's a cool little car. $13,200. This is our third Toronado that's gone by? I feel like it is. 425 cubic inch V8 with an automatic. I didn't see a power steering pump. No, I'm sorry. I did see a power steering pump. I didn't see an air conditioning compressor, but it says it has it, so I think it was on the passenger side down a little bit lower. I think the dashboard on these things is really cool. It shows 80,000 miles. Probably not true. It does have a working in-dash clock, guys. What do you think about the body style of these? I think I like the back end of these a lot. It's got that kind of Shelby Daytona look that it looks like it could stop some of that interfering air on the back end. And it's $13,200. All right, we've got ourselves another style line. This is a 1949 with, it looks like the original inline 6. And I appreciate Chevy for putting the overhead valve engine in there before Ford did, that's for sure, and maybe others as well. I'm not sure who else had those for those years, but you know, what's cool is it's got a 3 on the tree, and somebody would have bought this for their family, and they would have probably had them and their spouse and 2 or 3 kids in there as well with them. I don't know what color exactly that is, but it's definitely a reddish color. It looks good on it. 13.2. Are these K model? I think they are. These kind of 79 to 84 Malibus and El Caminos. but I like them. I was raised in one. We had 3 kids and 2 adults in a 2-door Malibu from 1979 with the straight six. I learned to shift gears in it. And sometimes we'd carry 7 people in that thing. So somehow. 305 cubic inch V8, automatic transmission. If you look at the bed in that thing, it looks pretty flawless, like it's never even been used. This thing had air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, power windows, a comfortable cloth interior, and it's $12,650. I like this car. It's an SRT8, so it's got a lot of power and it's got a lot of engine. You know, that engine just looks kind of menacing to me. 6.1 liters with 420 horsepower, automatic transmission, and it's number 1,222 of 6,400 SRT8s, first editions produced that year. 106,000 miles. That's probably fine for that car. It's got a Demon wide body kit on it, so it definitely has that look to it. It makes it look a little bit more menacing. And I think that rear spoiler on it makes it look kind of cool and aggressive. So I don't mind it. And it was $12,100. If I haven't said it before, I'm going to keep saying it. By the way, look at the headlights on this. This is a Porsche Boxster 986, and those headlights normally fade out, but those headlights are really easy to change out on these cars. I've done it myself because I've had one of these. This one has the 2.7 liter flat 6 and 5-speed manual transmission. If it was the S, it would have a bigger engine and a 6-speed, and I can tell it's an S. It's got the single tailpipe on the back that tells you that I'm sorry, that it's not an S. And then it has the lower horsepower, so not as fun. 12,100. These Subaru WRXs were really popular right around between 1999 and 2010. I think once this body style came out, they became a little bit less popular than they were before that. But man, I've seen these things just completely ragged out, but they had tons of horsepower because they'd put much larger turbos on them and basically blow the engines up at some point. But the WRXs are good performers, and this is the original orange color from what I can tell, because if you look under the hood, it's all orange under there and the firewall and all those areas, and it was only $12,100. Okay, another Rubicon, but I like this one the best, I think, and it's cheaper because it's later in the video, but it's got the winch on it. It's got that straight 6, which is a 4-liter with a 5-speed manual. Bigger tires, they look good. That front bumper with the light bar built into it is really nice. 118,000 miles. That's probably not bad for these things. I don't know. I've had tons of Jeeps and none of them were reliable, so you've just got to expect that they're not going to be. Hard tops are a must too, by the way, and I can take one of those off by myself if it's not the Unlimited. I just get under it and I lift it and put it down on the ground, and it's a doghouse. Remember when these came out? I thought they were so cool looking. You know, they had just this really cool, mean, menacing look to them. This is an 06, by the way, with the 5.7 liter V8 and the 5-spoke wheels. But then you get inside of them and you drive it and you clearly see, look at that, 62,000 miles, but you clearly see that there is no visibility out of those windows in the back. So that's immediately when I decided, actually, I think I despise these things. So I like the exterior, but I don't like sitting inside of them. It's got a power driver's seat, air conditioning, of course, power sunroof, and it was $12,100. It's funny, we don't have any Range Rovers on this, but we do have a Maserati Quattroporte S Q4 sedan. And, you know, I get a lot of flack for saying that I like Range Rovers. I'm not going to say that I like these. You know, if I was going to get a 4-door one of these, I would definitely get the Porsche Panamera before this any day of the week. This has 83,000 miles, and I'm sure you guys are going to say that's the time that you want to get rid of these things because there's something wrong with the timing chain or the timing belt, or, you know, that costs $10,000 to change. It is all-wheel drive, has a twin turbocharged 3-liter with 404 horsepower. So it's got some good up and go on it, but man, these Maseratis just, they do not hold their value, do they? And it's because they cost too much to repair. This was $12,100. You really don't see the Nissan 300ZXs cross the block that much. I don't know if those chrome wheels are original, if they came with chrome wheels, but it looks pretty decent. I do like the blue color of it. It is a twin turbocharged 3-liter, by the way, so it's probably got some pretty decent horsepower. But check that out. That steering wheel's on the wrong side. I would have to pass on it. I have no desire to be on the right side of a car unless I'm in another country that, you know, I need to be on the right side. I've done it. I've done it. This was $12,100. What do you think? Moving on down the line, we're at a 1985 Cadillac Eldorado. That's a 4.1 liter V8, which everybody's saying bad things about. I can see the AC compressor on top, so, you know, it's a Cadillac, it's going to have air conditioning. But, you know, if you have any bad experience with that 4.1 liter V8, please make a comment and write something about it. I'd be curious, because I might make the mistake of buying one otherwise, or one of these other viewers might make the mistake of buying one and it blow up 3 days later. So let us know if it's a bad engine. You know, I'm hearing it is, but I haven't heard anything specific. I like that the paint and that vinyl top are an exact color match. You know, it makes it a little bit more discreet and it looks pretty good. This was $12,100. Is it worth it? All right, here's a Corvair Corsa convertible. And does Corsa mean that it's a convertible? I'm not sure. You see that fuel tank's up in the front, but they don't have the blue tape on it. It's kind of funny though, that, you know, the interior color is more of a red and the exterior is a bit more of a brown. They say that the interior color is called bronze, but it looks red to me. I've started up one of these before. I was looking at it and I wasn't a fan of it. They've got a weird belt system, and that one's got an AC compressor, which I'm really surprised. I didn't know they had AC. Is it worth $12,100? Let me know. All right, look at the lettering here, HMMWV. If you guys know what HMMWV means, then you've probably been in the military. If not, I'm going to tell you. It means High Mobility Multi-Purpose Wheeled Vehicle. And how do I know that? Because I've been in the military. I've driven these things around. I've driven small tracked vehicles around, basically an M113 with a big kind of turret head on the top of it for guys that are in the artillery like I was. And they're dogs. they're slow. They can drive off road. There's no doubt about that. But they don't do it fast, and they definitely don't hit the roads fast. They're slow and cumbersome and not that fun to drive, but I love them. I think I'm over the Mercedes here, so let's stop selling these things so much. There's the blue tape. Must be a fuel tank. 5-liter, 302 horsepower. Automatic transmission. It's got the retractable hardtop, and I would love to try one out sometime. I might buy one, maybe not the Mercedes, but something with a retractable hardtop to put in one of our videos and drive it home. And hopefully we don't have any big repair costs. $12,100. What are your thoughts on that? I love 68. I love 68, 69. The front end just looks a little bit different, and so does the back end. You know, the light configuration of them. Dual exhaust on that. It definitely doesn't look factory. Those big wheels on it definitely don't look factory, the 5 spokes. But it's got that Grant GT steering wheel on it, so, you know, it's got my thumbs up. And let's see what engine that has. It just says it's a V8, so no specifics on that. Small block, but nothing else other than power steering pump. I don't know how fast you'd get on the road in this thing, but if it's a Vespa 400, I'm guessing it's a 400cc engine. It's actually a 393cc 2-stroke, 2-cylinder engine with a 3-speed manual transmission. It says 23,000 miles, which it probably is original, because I don't know if you'd want to drive more than that in its lifetime. You know, it's just tiny. Is that a convertible top? It sure does look like one. That might make it fun, but hearing that little air-cooled engine with only 400 cc's, could you go 45 miles an hour in it. Look how tiny it is. It's almost a clown car, but you know, hey, why not? Now we're talking real vehicle. You put this thing next to that little car we just looked at, and it would be kind of comical. And the thing that you see a lot in Texas and was really popular are those wheels with the stars in the center. People love those. This thing has 213,000 miles with a 350 cubic inch V8. It's probably fine. I mean, worst case, you might need to swap out an engine, but throw a crate engine in it and you'd be good to go. I like it. All right, this Chevy has a 350 cubic inch V8 with an automatic transmission, and it had air conditioning. In 1983, you wouldn't see a lot of pickups with air conditioning. That's a fact. Did I say it's got an automatic transmission? Power steering, tilt steering column, and cruise control. So the fact that it has cruise control and air conditioning and an automatic transmission gives me the go-ahead to buy something like this. It looks good. Nice short bed. It's cool. What did it go for? $11,000. All right, here's the other Blackwood that's in this video. And it's funny because I think this one's in better shape than the one that costs more. Is it exactly the same? Probably so. It only has 80,000 miles on it. So that's pretty low miles. It's a 5.4 liter V8, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that last time, with a 4-speed automatic transmission and really nice leather interior. It's also got the little key codes on the door handles, which is kind of cool, so you don't always have to have your keys with you, at least to get in it. It was $11,000. All right, we've got an 07 Jeep Wrangler X now. This is our about 4th Wrangler, I think, in this list, but that's okay. We got time, right, guys? 77,600 miles on the odometer. It's got a pretty good looking color on the exterior, and that gray matches it nicely. And yeah, it looks like it's a real 77,000 miles. 3.8 liter V6, a 6-speed manual transmission, 4-wheel drive, of course, and it is a soft top for $11,000. All right, this is our second Cutlass in here, I believe, and different body style though. The other one was a 70, and this is a 77. They got square on these starting in, I think it was 73. My brother had a 73 Cutlass Supreme. It wasn't as squared off as this, actually, so I would say that they must have squared them off around 75 or 76, huh? Super comfortable looking car. One thing I like about it is it has the floor shifter instead of the column shift with the bucket seats. Some of those would swivel out. I don't know if those ones do. It doesn't say. But it's got the 350. It's got those cool rally wheels on it. I think it looks awesome. You know, 20 years ago, people wouldn't have looked at these at all, you know, a second time. Automatic transmission, power steering, air conditioning, power brakes. You know, these were loaded, and it was $11,000. Now I rated this thing about my favorite vehicle in the $10,000 class. We're calling this $11,000 on this video though, because we're including all of the fees that go with it, not just the hammer fee. But I love those wheels on it. It looks really good. It's got a 4.3 liter V6, which I think is a Vortec engine, if I'm not mistaken. Help me out on that. It's fuel injected, 3-speed manual, power steering. You know, it's got headers, a cold air intake, so lots of performance. I don't know how that steering geometry is on that though, because they get the death wobble. 11 grand. If there's a car that I love, it's this one. 73 Pontiac Grand Prix Model J. And it's got everything under the hood that you need. It has a 400 cubic inch V8, power steering, power brakes, power windows. It's got the rally looking wheels. Those are called PMD wheels, by the way. Interior looks all original. Is it worn out and tired? Probably, but it looks pretty good. Another vinyl top. You know, it seems like we're seeing a lot of cars with vinyl tops for sale lately. Who does those anymore? Who would replace your vinyl top now? Where do you go? Do you go to an upholsterer? Are they the ones that do it? Who does it? Is it a body shop? $11,000 for this thing. I like this car a lot. You know, it's got that same classic story to me that I feel. By the way, it has air conditioning in 1970. That was a good option. And those stripes, muscle stripes on it, by the way, look really good. But you see it's a four-door. And what I love about that is that an entire family rode around in that thing. There may have been a family of 6, you know, that would go to church on Sunday, and they would occasionally go to dinner, and they would go to soccer games and all of the stuff that we do today. And I did in the 70s, and, you know, they were doing it in the 70s with this one. So I think that's really cool about this car. I really do appreciate that about it. Now, those aren't 70 tail lamps though, are they? I thought they had the double tail lamps on the back. All right, here's a big boy right here. Another big boy 2-door coming right up. And it's a 78 Lincoln Continental Mark V. Do you like these? Because I certainly do. I think it'd be fun to take on a road trip. This is also in my 10K and less video because we only do the hammer price and not the other costs associated with it. Color is great, by the way, on this thing. It's called Cinnamon Gold Moondust Metallica, the band. And the interior color is called Chamois, C-H-A-M-O-I-S. Is that chamois or chamois? Is that supposed to be French? I think it looks good, though. The body on it is nice, and it would just be a fun road trip car. $11,000. And there is nothing wrong with having a 1990 Ford F-150 Lariat pickup. There's that engine, a 5-liter again, and you can tell it's the 5-liter just by the nature of it. This one I can't have here in California though. Somebody put headers on it, cold air intake, a bigger throttle body, but you know, that's okay. It's just something I can't bring here. And a lot of you are going to say, oh, well, you're from California anyway, so who cares? But, you know, I'm actually not from California, but I moved here when I worked for the Navy 20-something years ago. I wasn't in the Navy, by the way. I worked for the Navy as a civilian. I was DOD for 20 years, but I'm still here because San Diego is beautiful. You know, we always tell people when we're in Texas, and they say, where are you from? We never say we're from California. We say San Diego, and they go, oh, San Diego's so nice. $11,000 for this truck, guys. If you like these Mustang SVTs, this is a Cobra convertible, and it has the 5-liter V8, which was the last year of that engine, by the way, and it was the first year of that body style. Has 82,000 miles on it. It was a 240 horsepower engine with that 5-liter engine. It was only one of 1,003 SVT Cobra convertibles produced that year. Is that rare? Not really. But it's pretty cool. And it's real. It's got the documentation. $11,000. This 1953 Willys or Willis M38A1 is the last vehicle in this video. It's all original, by the way, and you can tell it's a real military Jeep by the grill. It's got the recessed headlamps. These are really cool, though. I mean, I think they're just awesome. By the way, do me a favor and be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, because we're going to make more of these videos. In fact, stay tuned or keep watching, and this will roll into a 10K or less video for you to watch. So we also do different categories and do some analysis. So there you go.